This video may be difficult to watch, but it is one that holds the truth. It is your truth, the truth about your fate when you live with a narcissist. You may not have known it before, but today, I will reveal to you the shocking, heartbreaking consequences of remaining in such a toxic relationship. These are not just stories. These are the results, the undeniable effects of enduring years of narcissistic manipulation. For those of you who are in the thick of it right now, this video is a wake-up call, a warning. And for those of you who are free from the grip of a narcissist, this is your chance to understand just how much damage was done during those years. Too often, the victim doesn't see their own suffering. When you live with a narcissist, you start to lose perspective. The emotional manipulation becomes so ingrained that you no longer recognize who you are, what you've become, or how far you've fallen. You think everything is normal, but in truth, you've been broken down, piece by piece. Today, you will see the real picture of what you've become. If you are considering entering a relationship with a narcissist, this video will show you the dark and terrifying consequences of living with one. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why walking away is the only way to preserve your life, your happiness, and your sanity. And trust me, the final point I'm going to make in this video, the last consequence of living with a narcissist, will leave you stunned. You may not have even comprehended the full extent of the danger you're facing, but today you will. You'll know the tragic fate awaiting you, should you continue to stay. So stay with me until the very end, because this is important. This could save your life. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos that could help you and others. I am addressing the woman as the victim in this video for simplicity's sake, but if you are a man, simply reverse the roles. Let's dive in. 1. Your self-image will deteriorate. The first tragic consequence of living with a narcissist is the destruction of your self-image. Your view of yourself will slowly but surely deteriorate. You will begin to despise yourself and question your worth. Why does this happen? It starts from the moment you get involved with a narcissist. Narcissists are experts at exploiting your vulnerabilities. From the very beginning, they focus on highlighting your weaknesses, whether real or imagined, and downplaying or completely ignoring your strengths. They create an environment where your achievements and good qualities are belittled or dismissed, while your flaws are magnified and used against you. Over time, these messages from the narcissist sink deeper into your subconscious. You start to believe their negative narrative about you. You begin to think, I'm not good enough. I'm failing. I'm not worthy of love. This toxic cycle eats away at your confidence and self-esteem. This constant self-doubt is no accident. Narcissists thrive on making you feel inferior. In their eyes, there must always be a victor and a vanquished in the relationship. They cannot stand to have an equal partner. To maintain control, they need to place themselves above you. And to do that, they must make you feel small, powerless, and unworthy. You may find yourself trying to please them, going to extreme lengths to meet their impossible demands. No matter what you do, they will never be satisfied. This leaves you feeling worthless, as though you are constantly failing. But let me be clear, this is not your fault. This is the manipulation of a narcissist who needs to break you down to build themselves up. Your self-image is their casualty, and they will stop at nothing to destroy it. 2. Everything revolves around him. The second consequence is the loss of your sense of self. You will begin to notice that everything in your life starts to revolve around the narcissist. You no longer have a life of your own. Your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, they're all focused on catering to the narcissist's needs and desires. Slowly but surely, your identity becomes consumed by the relationship. You may have once had passions, hobbies, ambitions, and dreams, but over time, all of that fades into the background. The narcissist's interests and demands take priority, and your existence becomes an extension of their will. If you try to carve out even a small space for yourself, whether it's time with friends, a hobby, or simply some alone time. You'll quickly feel the wrath of their manipulation. They may guilt trip you, silence you with this silent treatment, or punish you for asserting your independence. Your life is no longer yours. You're no longer making choices for your own well-being or happiness. Everything is about him. You begin to lose touch with who you are, with what you need, with what makes you happy. You become a shadow of yourself, a person who exists solely to serve the narcissist's needs. 3. Complete isolation. The third consequence is the isolating grip the narcissist will have over you. Narcissists are masters of controlling their victims by cutting them off from support systems. At first, they may subtly convince you that your friends and family don't have your best interests at heart. They'll plant seeds of doubt, making you believe that your loved ones don't understand your relationship or that they're jealous of the narcissist. As time passes, these seeds grow into an unshakable belief, and you find yourself distancing from the very people who could help you see the truth. The narcissist encourages this isolation, using tactics such as guilt, threats, and manipulation. You begin to withdraw from your friends, family, and anyone who might offer you a different perspective or a safe refuge. The more isolated you become, the more control the narcissist gains over you. You are no longer a person with connections to the outside world. You are their prisoner. And when that happens, the narcissist can do whatever they want without fear of outside intervention. Isolation is a dangerous weapon in the narcissist's arsenal. It leaves you vulnerable, and over time, you will become so dependent on them that you can't imagine life without their approval or validation. 4. Deterioration of your quality of life. The fourth consequence is a complete and utter deterioration of your quality of life. And I'm not just talking about your emotional state. I mean your finances, your health, your social life, everything. You may have had a thriving career, a healthy social life, and financial independence before meeting this person. But as you remain in the relationship, everything starts to collapse. The narcissist may insist on you quitting your job or constantly sabotaging your career progress. They may encourage you to become more financially dependent on them, making it impossible for you to maintain independence. You might even find yourself working overtime, sacrificing your energy to fund their desires while your own needs go unmet. Your physical health will begin to decline as well. Chronic stress, lack of sleep, and emotional turmoil will take a toll on your body. You may find yourself losing or gaining weight drastically, suffering from insomnia, or experiencing regular bouts of illness. What's worse, as your quality of life falls apart, the narcissist's life often improves. They thrive off your sacrifices, and while you are losing everything, they are becoming more powerful, more self-assured, and more successful. The more you give, the more they take, and the less you have left. 5. Fatigue attacks. The fifth consequence is a constant state of exhaustion. The fatigue that victims of narcissists experience is not just physical, it's emotional and psychological. You will constantly feel drained, overwhelmed, and on the brink of collapse. This exhaustion is a direct result of the narcissist's endless demands. They require constant attention, validation, and energy, and no matter how much you give, it will never be enough. You'll find yourself drained to the point where you're barely able to get through the day. Your only relief may come from sleep, but even then, your mind is often tormented by thoughts of the narcissist's manipulation and cruelty. Everything you once loved to do, whether it was a hobby, working out, or spending time with friends, will be pushed aside. You'll lose all motivation as your energy is consumed by the narcissist's never-ending neediness. 6. Feeling fear and guilt. The sixth consequence is a constant state of fear and guilt. Fear of upsetting the narcissist, fear of their wrath, fear of losing their love or approval, and guilt, endless, suffocating guilt for not meeting their impossible expectations. The narcissist has mastered the art of emotional manipulation, and you will constantly feel that you're not good enough, no matter how hard you try. This fear will keep you on edge. You'll walk on eggshells, never knowing when the narcissist will explode, punish you, or withdraw affection. There is no safety, no security in the relationship. You feel as though you're in a constant state of tension, with no relief in sight. Guilt will consume you when you can't meet their endless demands, but this guilt is manufactured. It's part of the narcissist's manipulation tactics. You are not the problem. They are. And yet you will feel responsible for their happiness and well-being, even at the cost of your own. 7. Mental disorder. And now we come to the most devastating consequence of all, the mental breakdown that often follows years of emotional and psychological abuse. You see, narcissistic abuse doesn't just leave scars on your heart and mind. It can break you down to the point where you lose your sense of self completely. The constant stress, the manipulation, the emotional and physical toll of living with a narcissist, it will eventually catch up with you. Many victims experience a complete breakdown in their mental health. They may develop anxiety, depression, or even dissociative disorders. In some tragic cases, the psychological strain becomes so overwhelming that the victim may lose their mind entirely. Yes, I'm talking about insanity. The brain can only handle so much abuse, and at some point, it will give way. And let me be clear, this is not an exaggeration. I've seen it happen to too many people. The constant strain and emotional chaos of living with a narcissist can lead to feelings of hopelessness, despair, and even suicidal thoughts. The narcissist doesn't just ruin your life, they destroy the very core of your being. If you find yourself here, please understand, you are not alone, and there is hope. The most important thing is to escape before it's too late. Your mental health, your well-being, and your life depend on it. Please, if you've been struggling with a narcissist, know this: there is a way out. There is life after narcissistic abuse. But you must act now. Don't wait for things to get worse. And if you are seeing the signs in someone you love, help them find the courage to leave. The narcissist will never change. They will only drain you, manipulate you, and leave you broken. The only way to protect yourself is to walk away. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and comment to spread the message. There are so many others who need to hear this truth. Together, we can help each other escape. Until next time, stay strong, stay safe, and remember, you deserve better.